Oh boy. I forgot how to do this. Does this thing work? I forgot how to do this. Does this thing work? I think it does. Oh boy. What is even going on? Whew, okay, well, back at it. I have an update for Android Studio. That can't go wrong. Thank you for that sound. So just gonna quickly open up the project and we'll see what's going on there. Desktop. Shut up, birds. Oh boy. Invalid JDK. What is this UI, man? JDK 1.8, so maybe? Hopefully. Gradle sync is always going to be slow. Oh shit, they're targeting 31. Interesting. Apparently I need to download that. Or compose. Holy shit. I think this is the second compose app I'm reviewing. It's good to see that people are taking it on. Okay, what do we have here? I need to just rename stuff so it's a bit anonymous. And then hopefully not break anything in the process. Bit of a tedious process sometimes. Okay, we might be sorted already. Package names, and then in the manifest. What? Hello? What buttons am I pressing? That was weird. My keyboard stopped working for a bit. Okay. Oh, package name, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool, that's changed. Build script app ID should be changed as well. Indeed. Try build that. I don't care about upgrading the Gradle plugin. I might need to, yeah, I need to change to Java 11. Then I can show soon what I'm actually looking at. Just gonna run the app quickly myself and see that everything is good. First build is always a bit slow. Ah, there we go. Cool. And start up an emulator. Jeez, that's a big ass emulator. Oh, nice. C theme. Okay, looks good. I mean, it doesn't have any additional functionality, but it works. And it looks good, so that's fine. Okay. I think I'm ready to share screen now. Let's go presentation mode. Okay. So, I hope this still works. Cool. Cool, so I'll just run the app again, because I removed it. But it's pretty standard, I think, so it asks you for location permission. Of course, if you grant it, just fetches the weather. Nothing too crazy, and you can see that there's no additional stuff like favorites, adding location to your favorites or viewing them on the map or something. So it's just the core functionality, but at least it's there and it's working. Let's just see if I choose a different location. Does it only get an update once? Or is it where I need to go into the maps again first and then... Okay, there we go. Yeah, cool. It's cloudy apparently. I guess a little bit. (27 degrees as well. Springtime is here. But that's good, so you saw the background change. It used to be sunny and now it's a cloudy background. And if I can find a rainy place, maybe London. But you see, what they're using for the location is the last known location. So it's not requesting your current location. Which I should actually mark them down on. I mean, it's not really going to be a major issue. It's not like you're going to suddenly be in another country and try to look at your weather. But maybe you're traveling between cities or something, and then it's picking up your location from the previous place. from wherever you last used maps, and then that's just not so great. Like, it should be now requesting your current location, even if it's just once off on app start. But now you can see I've set I'm in London now, and I think even if I swipe it out, it's not gonna, yeah, you see it doesn't pick up my current location, only the last one. So then what you have to do is, if you go into maps, maps actually requests your current location, so now it updates to London. Now when I go back into the app, oh look, it's in London. So I think that should actually, this music is a bit too intense. I need to actually make notes, so let me just open up the spreadsheet that I use. I mean, it's still good, right? It gets the weather for your location. It's just your last known location instead of your current location. So it could, in some cases, show or pick up the wrong location. Okay, let me just create a new spreadsheet. Copy. Copy. Okay, I'm just gonna rename the thing. This one, rename. Alright. So obviously I'm trying to just keep this anonymous because they're actually applying to my company, so I'm not gonna show what was that? Any names or stuff like that, but I'm just gonna write notes down on the side of what I find. So the correct design, yes, it does use it. Forecast for current location, I'll give them like a 4 out of 5. Uses last, why can't I type today? Uses last known location, and then background does change. Cool. So I just need to check the actual code now and see. But I think in a lot of cases, using the last known will actually be fine. Okay, I just want to see if I can get any rainy area. But I don't think I will be able to. I forgot, did I try Durban already? 32, okay, that's a bit not raining. But okay, maybe I can try a bit later to find that. I just need to make sure it does actually show like a rainy background. Alright, anyway, so checking the code, I saw that they are actually using Compose, which is awesome. I've only had maybe one other assessment that uses Compose, but to be fair, it is obviously quite newly stable. Okay, of course we have the example tests, I don't need to worry too much about that. But, so the application, we just have a Hilt application, which is pretty standard. And used in the manifest. Okay, I want to actually start from the service layer down, so I guess that would be in service. Alright, so retrofit service, of course. And we do indeed to open weather map, so that's good. Let me just write that down. Connect to open weather maps, APIs, okay. Oh, what I also need to check actually is if it works while you're offline, because that's like additional extra that we have. Can you view weather offline? Oh, nice. Okay, that works. Cool. And it even tells you no internet. So that's good. That's done at least. Cool. Alright, so the rest of it is just actually looking at the code, I think. Cool. Retrofit service, nothing too exciting, but where do you actually come from in this, the repo, of course. This formatting is interesting. Nice, using flow as well. Excellent. View mod. You see. Hey Uber, hello, hello. I'm back after 3 weeks of of not being home. So I'm trying to remember how to do stuff. I was staying with family. So I was obviously not here, and I didn't have my PC and all of that, so yeah, I couldn't really stream anything. But now just checking another weather app. Okay, I got a bit distracted. So repo. You see, what I don't like is some people make it the responsibility. That's not necessary. Make it the responsibility of like the view model to insert stuff into the database, which seems to me like a bit not how it should work. Because in my mind, the repo is what's supposed to do all of that. That's the whole point of a repo. To abstract the knowledge about where is the data coming from. Extract that away. So in my mind, the repo should be caching this itself without having to get the view model to do it. Because now if you were to add this in another place or something and you forget, sorry, mute my phone. Say you wanted to get the current weather on another screen and then you forget to insert it now in that view model, like you're just not going to cache stuff. Row count. Anyway, so in my mind, you should keep this logic inside the repo. The view model does not need to know about the database at all. But anyway, so we're using flow with it, which is cool. List of weather, list of forecast stuff. Otherwise in here, nothing else is too crazy, just inserting to the database. Wait, where do we read from the database though? Oh, from there. Okay, that's the flow. That's what the flow is doing. Right. So that's correct. But yeah, I would again just make this private inside. But anyway, moving on. Network Interceptor. Why? Huh? What is happening? Okay, this is interesting to me. So this is just a HTTP interceptor. Yeah, pretty standard, but whenever we make a service call, we check if internet is available. If it's not, then we throw an exception. Otherwise we proceed, but how do we check this? Is network available? Jeepers. Connectivity manager, active network. Capabilities. Ethernet. Admittedly, I've not really done similar checks myself at any point to see if you are online. But so this part kind of makes sense to me, checking with all the what is it, the connectivity manager. But here it's a bit weird. So if it returns true, you try to ping google.com, I guess. And I guess it returns an empty string if it couldn't be resolved or something. So then you return true if it's not empty. Interesting. Cool. Interesting making it an interceptor as well. I wouldn't have thought of that myself. But it works. Just closing all the other stuff. So what else? We had models, which are always kind of boring. Just the data transfer objects that is returned by the API, so not even going to bother going through all of those. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. DI, so we're just providing the service stuff here, I suppose. So that to me is a bit dodge. Interesting. I mean, here you don't really need to pass in your own JSON object because you can just leave it out. If you're not customizing the JSON object at all, like here, you can just leave it out and it will use a default one. And also what I noticed is they set the base URL, but then it gets ignored. Where's the service itself here? Because the URL they put on each service method is an absolute one. So then the base URL is just ignored. The base URL should probably be all of that part over there. And then on top of each service method you just add weather or the forecast part. But it still ends up working. Just means this could be anything here, right? It doesn't matter. Ooh. Now, what is going on here? No, man. So, okay, let me just see the other stuff here. So, we're providing the service. I mean, this could also probably be a singleton. Providing the repo, which is a singleton, the database, that's fine, and the DAO, that's all good. But here it's a bit weird because you shouldn't really call these provides methods yourself, which is they're doing here. Instead, you know, you could just add a parameter here that is your client, HTTP client, like that, which will then automatically be provided by calling this method. And I don't understand why they're also like maintaining their own instance of it. I mean, you just used singleton elsewhere here. So they know that this thing exists, but you don't use it here for some reason. That to me is a bit confusing. And then making it nullable, but then you just double bang it here. I mean, okay, if I had my way with this thing, I would take out this JSON method. I would take it out from here, take it out there. Then the client we can take in as a parameter, that's good. We'll take out the double bang. I will just pass in the client here. Now I can get rid of the context even. Here, we'll make it a singleton. Sorry, I love cleaning up code, it's so fun, especially if it's my own as well. So here we will just return a new instance each time. And when I say each time, I pretty much means once because it's a singleton. There we go. That to me is a lot cleaner. Now you're not maintaining your own instance. So it's a singleton, meaning this method is only called once, and Dagger will cache the result for you. Just make sure it runs and that they're not doing any other weird stuff somewhere. Hey Rohit, what's up, what's up? Sorry, I'm really tired because I've had lots of late nights with work stuff. When I say lots, I mean 2. I had on Friday night and then last night up until 2:30 AM at work, so I'm still trying to recover. Okay, but it does still build. Yeah, so this is how I would have done it. But anywho, good use of Dagger otherwise, or Hilt, I guess. So in the database, it always feels to me like this stuff, like a room is being abused here, or so, because instead of storing the object as a proper table or something, you're just serializing it. I mean, so I guess it works at the end of the day, but you know, in Room you can also use tables and columns. I guess it's just like a quick and easy way of doing it here. Do we have any entities actually? Okay. You see this, it should rather be an ID, which is good, but then each one of these fields as well, I guess, whichever ones you use, instead of just serializing the whole object. And I guess the other one is a similar case. Eich. Best approach to check if the user is typing or not. I don't know what context you need it for exactly. I've never implemented like that myself. Do you need to know on a specific screen only or within the whole app? Because I would just say add like a text watcher or something on the text field. And then when the text is changed, you store a variable like is typing is true. And then you can launch a timer, say wait 2 or 3 seconds, and set it to false. Right, 2 or 3 seconds of not typing, then it becomes false. But I don't know what you need it for exactly. Hey Abhishek, what's up? Hope you're well, hope your Starbucks is tasty. Back at the weather apps. Okay, so room stuff is kind of alrightish. The DAO, pretty standard, I guess. Insert. What? Okay. Insert, get, delete, row count. Why do you need to know the row count? Ugh, no man. Sad. I don't know if they were using that for debugging purposes only, but there's so much code that could just be deleted because it's not really doing anything. The row count. Unless the row count. Only on a screen like WhatsApp. Yeah, so in that case they have one text field, right? So I would say try adding a text watcher. Whenever someone types, you start a timer. Well, so when they start typing, you set a variable typing as true, start a timer, 3 seconds later or whatever you set it to false. But the trick is each time the text is changed, you have to cancel the timer previously and like restart it or something, so that it's not triggering for each letter that's typed. But I think that kind of makes the most sense. The row count. The row count is just how many stuff is saved in the app. Like here it would probably be five forecast days. But yeah, I mean, Room looks pretty cool, I suppose. DI, models, network, repo. I already complained enough about the repo, I think. Service layer is also good. Now we have compose stuff, which is interesting. Oh, my screen is flickering. I guess this is all kind of... Yeah, this is exactly what the template gives you. They don't even bother to delete this or change it. Oh boy, one huge ass file. Okay, we'll get to this soon. But me, I love a good utils package. The timer that I want to know. It's... I'd have to mess around with it, but something like this. You can talk about games, yeah, sure. I just won't focus on games only. In Kotlin there's like a timer function like this. And you can... Oh, come on. And you can say, I want to initial delay, period, long... How do you do a one-shot timer? But something like this. Like initial delay would maybe be 3 seconds. So this then starts the timer, and here you would like set it to false. But then the trick is you need to store it probably as a field, and then each time you come here to start a new one, you say if the field is not set, like if there's a timer going, you would have to say, oh shit, you'd have to cancel the timer first and then start a new one, something like that. What's wrong with utils? Nothing. Nothing. New World, Poggies. It's fun, man. I didn't play it more yet, but Justin enjoys it as well. You should definitely get it. Or you could maybe even use a coroutine. Okay, that that's just a compose warning, it's fine. So you would say you would delay 3 seconds and then set to false like that. So you'd have like this as a field, I guess. And then whenever you on type, you would have to cancel the job and then restart it, something like that. Oh, your laptop screen. Because you watch too much anime on it, that's why. Okay, anyway, sorry, I need to get... I need to make progress on this review. So date utils, we're just getting the name of the day from a date. So that would be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday in this case. That's fine, at least. That's not at least it's not a huge ass utils class. Don't even understand shit, but it's my... Yeah, thanks man, appreciate you stopping by. I was away for 3 weeks, I'm trying to remember how to stream. Justin. CSGO stream, please. Please stream it for us, bruh. Okay, now what is going on here? Why is my screen flickering the whole time? Spotify does weird stuff, man. Okay, let me just play a chiptune, I guess. Other stuff is a bit too hardcore. So, when I opened this activity, I was like, what is going on? Because there's quite a lot. Is anyone actually here who cares about the weather app? Okay, so I think all the location stuff is happening here. Fuse location, last location, weather app. This is weird, it's like using compose but then not really here. I guess everyone's still trying to figure out what is going on. Wait, what is... Huh? Oh, okay, wait, the screen. So that's still in this file. Amaranth is streaming again. Ah, good. Apparently she got unbanned, eh? I didn't check, but I heard it. Okay, wait, what else is happening in this activity? Holy shit, there's too much. Get last location, checking permissions. So much boilerplate for location and permission and shit like that. There is also a permissions composable thing, part of accompanist libraries, I think. So that might have made life easier here, because now you have like a hybrid activity, old school approach and compose. But I guess it works. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm scrolling around a lot, but it's hard to follow. And that's in the view model. So the data is being fetched outside of compose and then somehow it works. Okay, so there we just collect the current forecasts, current weather, and then the forecast, and then pass it to this composable. Oh. Imagine coding on Windows. Damn. I don't think Cybershark, the mod, is here, otherwise I will tell him to ban you. Holy cowabunga. Wow. A lot of... Wow. Wait, what? Why is there always a progress indicator? Huh? Whew. There's a lot of shit. I mean... Yo. Okay. Using a side effect at least. So this is a compose thing that runs after each recomposition finishes. Run when the current composition completes successfully. Applied side effects to objects managed by composition and are backed by snapshots and fails. So remember that this will still run multiple times, like after the UI refreshes. So it shouldn't be used to do one-shot stuff, but rather to update something on the UI that's not, as they said, backed by a snapshot, like a mutable state or whatever. So basically then every time they are also just updating the status bar color, the top part here, based on the current weather. Oh boy, and then we have the main layout starting here. So it's gonna be the background image, I guess. Like the lighthouse image here. This is a box. Wait, what? Oh, this is the... I thought this was the part under the under the thing, but it's just the city name and the temperature, the conditions. Hey, Cybershark is here after I said his name earlier. What's up? Okay, then we have the part... Wait, what was this layout? Okay, it is a column. Then the bottom half of the screen here is the current weather data. This little 3 thing. Row of 3 items, and then the forecast underneath. So those are split up into separate functions. Wait, what? Huh, you learn something every day. I did not know you can have late init local variables. I really did not know that. I thought it was only just for properties that could be late init. Wow. But here you don't need it anyway because just don't use late init. They can just be val, you know. Because it's an if statement and then they are all getting values in both branches. So it can still be a val. Whereas if you didn't have it there, for example, yeah, it would complain down the line saying it might not be initialized. The spacing style seems off. I mean, I think the spacing is fine. Maybe just the random blank lines is a bit much. But the actual tab or the indent is fine. And yeah, late init variables or local variables are not really necessary. I don't know, and that's why I thought you couldn't have them, because it just doesn't make sense. But I'm surprised. Okay, so this was the current weather data, so this is this middle part here, the min, current, and max section. I mean, it's pretty standard. It just ends up taking a lot of lines of code because it's kind of the same thing 3 times here. 2 labels above each other, so yeah, and plus my super large font for the streaming purpose probably doesn't help much. Cool, and then we have a divider. I like that they added a divider composable. It's part of the default built-in stuff. Oh, really, it's just a box. It's just a box layout behind the scenes. The lines make it look like paragraphs, yeah. No, it does. It does look very good. No additional functionality like adding to favorites or whatever, but it's solid and it works and it asks for permission properly. So it's all good. And now this next composable here is the bottom part of the next 5 days. So it's pretty much just a lazy column. Okay, and they only take the 12 o'clock temperatures. So it comes back with multiple readings for each day. Divided just a container with one. I mean, it works. I guess just take the least intensive layout and use that. I was expecting them to be manually like drawing a line or something, but I guess it's easy to just have a one DP thing. Cool, and then we have a composable. Holy shit. Okay, the last composable is then the layout for each item in this list. I don't know, this seems bad. Shouldn't you be remembering stuff here? Because this is creating a new painter thing each time. Oh no. Huh? So they do use Remember Vector Painter, but Bitmap Painter is a new one. So I think this should be Remember, right? Shouldn't it be? Oh no, that's already a composable itself, so maybe not. Just seems weird because you're going to be creating a new one each time this is recomposed. So I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, just extracting all of the properties and determining the little icon in the middle. The XML one is for drawables. For vectors, yeah. Wait. Oh, okay, they're looking up the resource. So here we passed in a bitmap, or a PNG, so yeah, it's going to be going to the bottom part. Interesting. Oh, and then there's a constraint layout here. Huh. Here, but nowhere else in the file. To me, you don't. Maybe I think constraint layout should be used for the outer thing, maybe, but not this each row. This can just be a row. But anyway, let's see how constraint layout works in Compose. What is this magic? Oh, okay, you can add up to 16 of them. So we have a text, which is the day on the left-hand side, and then it's constrained as the day link to parent.start. Icon link to parent dots. Huh? Oh, right, it's centered, so it's linked to the start and the end of the parent. Okay. And then the temperature is just linked to the end. Interesting. This really seems like constraint layout is not necessary here. Maybe they just wanted to practice it. But I think that's pretty much all for this one. Oh, the view model I didn't look at. Ooh, so then there's a loading thing that isn't used anywhere, but its value is still updated. And then the error message is just shown as a toast, and then we have a live data for the actual stuff. Oh, nice, and a coroutine exception handler. Yeah. For compose, identify, and apply constraints. Makes sense. Makes sense. Alright, so just two very similar functions here. Please don't double bang stuff. Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, so the current weather is used in the activity, not in a composable. So wait, that just is like a one shot kind of thing. Nice. Need to actually use exception handlers myself. Not sure if this is the correct way, but it does seem like a good thing to have to handle errors. Separate live datas or use a UI state. Myself personally, I like this way. Sometimes I feel creating all these state classes just ends up complicating matters a bit. So I tend to have just separate properties for each thing, like a loading thing, an error message, and then the actual data. But maybe it comes down to preference, and maybe if you have a lot more fields, it makes sense to actually have a separate object. My problem is that if you have a state thing, a state class that holds properties, or an enum, a state enum, then you end up doing that logic in the UI layer. Because you have to check if the state is this, show that, or if the state is, error, do something else. But I guess if you do it this way, you just observe on it. I don't know. I wish this thing was used so I could actually see how the loading was done. But I mean, I guess you're gonna get those checks anyway. Because over here you would have... Where's the view model? Alright, the view model was used only here. Come on, man. So you would have to do like by I mean, I guess you're always going to end up with similar stuff. Right? Because now in Compose you have to, instead of hiding and showing, you just don't add stuff to the composition. and then it doesn't show up. So you have to have these conditions. Yeah, but for less observers, but then that one observer ends up being massive, catering for all the different cases in the state. I like to keep the UI as simple as possible, so ideally the observe block has like one statement in it. I guess it depends what, if you're doing XML layouts or compose layouts. But if I'm observing a like is loading variable, you know, then the observe block would just set the thing to visible or not, and that's all. Whereas if you have one observe call for all of them, you have to check if the state is this, set the visibility, else if it's this, set the text, or hide this other thing, or show the error. I don't know. Yeah, I like to keep it in the view model. But preference. Speaking of view model, so oh yeah, and can get rid of all this with context. Well, I guess switching to IO, if you just do this thing as a, oh, you could actually, because this is a suspend on the service, so you could just remove this dispatcher. We still have the exception handler, but now the service is actually switching to the background itself. So now you could probably get rid of this as well. And you could probably put this exception handler as part of that. There we go. A lot less nesting. Okay, let me just see that it still works with those changes. There we go. The service call happens on the background thread still. A lot less nesting. At cases where it leads to race conditions for a millisecond. I guess it does depend what is happening in those observers, yeah. So as I say, it comes down to maybe preference and actual use case. What is actually going on the screen that you need. So yeah, I'm sure it does make sense to have separate state class. Ah, boy. Okay. Anyway, so fetching the data from the repo, which actually just does a service call. If it's successful, we update the live data. Otherwise, handle errors. Similar stuff for the forecast. Where am I? It's happening in the activity. No. I thought this earlier was happening in the view model. So the activity is doing the inserting into the DAO. Not directly, I mean, it goes to the view model, which goes to the repo, which goes to the DAO, but this shouldn't be... Wait, what? Why is this a separate thing? List of current weather data or weather data. Oh, so this is the service. Yeah, that's the service response. That returns it from the DAO. Yeah, that's right. So they use a flow, but then just convert it to live data. Which, I mean, with Compose, you can just use the flow directly as well. Really, yeah, I'm not too convinced on that. I said earlier that the repo should be taking care of all of that. That's what it's supposed to do. You can see that the repo thing to get the weather just calls the service directly, and that's all. Then somehow the activity is responsible for telling it when to insert stuff into the database. But instead on here, on success, you should be inserting it. And removing all this knowledge away from further down, from the view model and the activity. And then in here you would handle it like if the service fails, you know, just... Well, I guess you don't need to do anything, because the data would be already cached, you know. But yeah, when the service succeeds, you would then store it in the database. And this row count thing was only used for debugging. So that could also be removed. Just call after first call is successful. I'm not sure what you mean. Why not just call after first call is successful? But anyway, I mean, otherwise it's really not bad. Using Compose is good. I might have moved some of these composables into separate files just for readability. Then you can add nice little preview composables for each of them. But not the end of the world. Okay, alright. Okay, wait, I did get a CV or a resume. Let me just see what it says quickly and make sure I don't show it. Something went wrong. What? Not now, Outlook. Okay, so... Okay, he did computer science degree until 2017. Worked as web developer, Android developer in 2017. Had an app on the store with 700,000 downloads, but had to shut it down. Wait, so... Oh, okay. He was self-employed from 2016 to 2020. And then from 2020 worked as an Android developer at whatever that place is. Until 2021. So I guess he's had 5 years, maybe? Android at the most. But I mean, it's pretty good. 3 years of Kotlin, 7 years Java. He apparently has solid knowledge in building apps with Android's new UI framework. Solid Jetpack Compose knowledge. No, but I mean, it's pretty decent. Maybe some tests would have been good. What? I don't know why so few people end up doing actual tests, man. And I'm just gonna write a few notes, and then I've got another one to also do, but I don't think it's a weather app. So we'll just see that. Anyway. $700,000 downloads. Yeah, let me see if we put any more info on that. Had to sadly shut it down. Doesn't say why. Maybe it was too expensive, or maybe the Play Store was like, nah. Yeah, that does feel bad. I don't know what the story is behind that. Okay. Tell us some jokes, Abhishek, while I'm doing notes. Static code. A lot of this is not implemented like tests. Mods ban that guy. So a joke is that on Friday night, the Friday that happened already, last week Friday, and last night I was up late doing work stuff from 10:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. It was not fun because we were testing in like the prod staging environment, which doesn't affect prod, but you know, in case it did, we wanted to test at a late at night, so to affect as few people as possible. So that was not great, and we're doing it again tomorrow night. So I'm dead pretty much. Okay. Imagine your job being an iOS developer. Kidding. So I wanted to see, I also check for commented out code, and I saw quite a bit of it here. Not comments in general, just commented out code. Okay, that JSON one was me commenting it out, URLs. Like these logs are commented out here. This network stuff was commented out. Okay, that's just a comment. The previews and the composables. That's just comments. Those are comments. Okay, there's not that much actually. Very few lines. Dependency injection was also pretty good. Data binding. Not applicable. Come on. Ah! Pressing the wrong buttons. And what I also check is for version control usage. How many commits do you do? Do you have one commit with everything in it, or do you split up the work? And it looks like they kind of have one big commit. Hang in there, weekend is 2 days. Yeah. I'm hoping tomorrow night is going to be the last one. Judgmental Android devs. Nah, just a friendly rivalry. Just talking shit. Okay, so he has one initial commit and then 1, 2, 3, 7 other commits that all have the same message. Networking and room DB added. Spelled added with 4 Ds. So for me, that's not really great version control usage. Three has multiple commits, but okay, cool. Sorry, distracted. Okay, notes code is generally repo layer should be. What other thoughts do I have on this? I mean, I don't really have that much bad to say about it, actually. Some code that was used for debugging. I'm always scared that I'm accidentally sharing my screen. then I lose my job. Cool, done with that. Oh, let me just put his name. Oh, I'm tired. Justin, I at least don't have great. Hell was that? Yeah, no, to his credit, the design is done very well. Does look very good. Yeah, so I mean, no major issues other than that repo thing that I cried about for like 10 minutes. Shaquille, hello, hello. Just finishing up this code review of an Android app that someone did for my company. They're applying for the job, Android job. But we have Xcode. It sounds like you guys have a love-hate relationship with it, Justin. Or is it just hate? Like, does it have nice IDE features these days? I remember you guys didn't have jump to declaration for a long time. Okay, cool. So I think I'll move on to the next one. Shaquille, have you tried KMM? I have not tried it yet. I don't know if anyone else has. Cybershark maybe, but have you tried it? Do you like it? Is it good? Does it still need some work? Alright, so I'm done with that one. I'm just going to download the code for the next one. As I said, I don't think it's a weather app. Someone kindly assist with a review. He made everything exceptionally well. Challenge is that he might be snapped up by another company. So let's have a look. What is this project? This sounds like a cool one. The Superhero API aggregator app. Getting better but still has issues. No, that's good. That's good. For me, it feels like whenever they make a new Android Studio version, it kind of gets bad. And then they bug fix it. Like, I think the new one, Bumblebee, which is the one in preview at the moment, early access, it feels to me like there's a memory leak or something, because my whole system starts shutting down after a while. I think that happens a lot. In the DC fanboy. Yeah, we can see. Okay, let me just have a look. Where is it gone? Okay, extract. Okay, time to wait for Gradle to do its thing. Sounds like what they do with games. Exactly, rushing out an unfinished product and then fixing it later. Yeah. At least I don't have to pay money for Android Studio. That would be annoying. Still syncing. What are you thinking about? Well, I'm thinking about Gradle sync. The only way to daily run into a student thing in area. What do you mean the only way to daily run? Yeah, I mean I still use 4.2 mostly, which is before Arctic Fox even. On Arctic Fox I have that stupid problem where if you like command click on something to go to the declaration, it pops up that grey box and it just gets stuck in the middle of my screen forever. I can't, man. And it seems to be fixed on Bumblebee at least. Oh, frequently, okay. Yeah, I mean I do like trying out the new shiny stuff. But obviously you need to have a stable version left behind. Especially if you need to do work. Oh, come on. What is this thing downloading, man? Okay, wait. Screenshots. Oh, wow. Looks like a pretty well done app from the screenshots, at least. Oh, is it finished thinking? Open another pop-up. I can never get rid of the grey box, man. It just keeps stacking up multiple new pop-ups the whole time, and you can't see anything what's on the screen. You have to restart Android Studio. Okay, well it's done syncing. Why did it take so long? What? You don't even have that many crazy libraries. App compared, room, view pager 2, Kotlin, constraint layout, legacy support, preference, glide, material, play, JSON, okay, retrofit, JSON fire. I don't know what that is. It's okay. Of course, they have the example tests left behind. Oh boy. Oh boy. We have a lot of utils. almost ready. JetBrains Toolbox. I've never used it. Maybe I should try it out. It is exactly like the Windows 95 stuff, man. It's just... Oh, I can't. I don't know how they haven't noticed that. Fixed it on Arctic Fox yet. Oh, come on. Okay, just trying to build. Oh boy. Sorry, trying to anonymize it again, but I might have broken something. Oh, maybe not. Almost there, I think. Oh my gosh. Let me just try and run it. I'm done. Hmm. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on. So, this is what it looks like when you first open it up. Hey there, who's your hero? The Flash. What? Come on, bruh. Stop being annoying. Oh, there we go. Black Flash? What? Nice. Oh wow, you can even see stats. Well, I would fucking hope speed is 100. That's all DC. Well, we can check. Flash that. Yes. Forensic scientist. And then, oh, you can swap. Wow, they even have different stats amongst the different flashes. Hmm. Okay. Favorite. Oh, saved. Cool. Can sort them by name or by power. Theme. Oh, you can even switch themes. Oh, it even comes up with suggestions. Oh, that's cool. Oh, come on, they don't have Marvel. Sad. Yeah, why not? Oh. Sorry, tired. But I think that's it. I mean, it doesn't seem too crazy. I mean, can't you just view a list of all of them? Surely you can. I want to know what there is available. DC is better. Let's not get into that discussion. Pfft. Green Arrow is so weak. His occupation is a multi-billionaire. I'd like that occupation. The Emerald Archer. Okay. Well, for the amount of files I saw, I mean, I was expecting more, but... Search by ID. What? 1. A-bomb. Yes, my superhero knowledge is not good. Marvel. Huh? Did I misspell? Spider-Man, is it 2 words or what? Spider-Man, you see. You see now. Oh, he's OP. What? None of them have hair and eye color, man. Come on. I've been betrayed. Spider-Woman. Booba. Spider Carnage, Scarlet Spider, I don't know. Most of the stuff. Okay, but it looks cool. And the arrow is pointing up. Is it supposed to be the other way around? Is it supposed to show... It's supposed to show down when you can collapse it. Or it's supposed to show down when you can expand it. I didn't notice that. I don't know, now that you mention it. Oh, but wait, I saw a bug there. So the first time you open it, they're all pointing down. And then when you toggle one, they all toggle up. And from there, only one of them toggles. So I guess they just had the wrong initial state. Yeah, I think it should be the other way around though. Like pointing down when you can expand it. Is it online or offline? I think it's online. There is this offline module thing, but I don't really know what this does. Not even some translations. Oh, there we go. It loads it from the database. So let's see now. So I've opened it once. I'll just swipe it out. Flight mode. Oh, it crashes. So much for offline, I guess. What? Hello, can I have some logs? What? Why isn't it showing me a proper stack trace? Invalid ID, that why? I don't know. It's a shame. I think they're supposed to be offline support because, you know, they had that... Where did I see it? The DB, yeah. Run. How do I... Let me just... Exit presentation mode. No, there's only one run option, just to run the app. So not like the offline thing is a separate app. No print stack trace. What is E? What is happening? Please don't call your function E. What is going on? Hello? Print stack trace. Right into a file. Why? What is going on? Dude, what fancy shit is this? File log. Where does file log go? Shrub. Is there any way to implement Firebase UI? I don't know. Your own Firebase UI. I mean, you can make your own UI from scratch, I guess, and then you just add snapshot listeners or whatever to the data store. But I don't know if you can customize a Firebase UI thingy. File log. Why would you log the device, man? Hello? SD card. Huh? Wait, I forgot what I was looking at. Yes, this one. Slash logs, but I don't see a slash logs thing. Or am I looking in the wrong folder? What is this? Idea folder. I guess that makes sense. I've not seen it. Hey. Interesting. You'd think you'd log it to console as well. I don't know. Anywho, I'm not trying to get this app working. I'm just reviewing it. Tips for working with Firestore. Not really. I don't do it that often. Firestore is the database, right? So I guess do you add listeners, right? That's how it works. You can add listeners to it. So I guess make sure those listeners are cleared properly, unregistered. I think you can add it to. You can pass in the activity instance or something so that when the activity dies, it will automatically unregister. I don't know if that's Firestore or remote config. I don't know. I get confused. I have not worked with Firestore that much. I don't know if you're looking for any specific advice. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go through everything here, man. Process ended service listener thing. Foreground detector. Yeah, remote config is a separate thing. For storing just like single values, right? We use it for feature toggling remotely. Dude, what is going on? Holy shit. It keeps track of when activities start up and how many are going, and when there's 0 started, then it's in the background. Why do you need to know this? On became foreground. So when it's foregrounded, nice double banging again. Sends a broadcast. If it's disconnected and it's not the same, and oh my goodness. Seems way complicated. Anywho. Remote. What? How's this all unused? What do you prefer? Me, I've not really used Firebase that much for database. As I say, I used it for remote config for feature toggling stuff, basically. For on device, I use Room. For backend, I normally do a Spring Boot app with a MySQL database. So I don't know what database you're asking for, what context, if it's on an app or on backend or something. But I think Firebase, Firestore can work really well as well, from what I've seen. It's doing the most work for a simple app, I know. Maybe it's a project he's constantly adding to. I don't know. This was not done for our company, by the way. It was, I think, an existing thing he sent us. You can see a lot of these services aren't used yet. He's just the one to search by ID and by name, which returns like a hero object, which is like the superhero itself with all the properties. jeepers. I'm out of water. Shit. Storing general data. Storing general data. Yeah, try Firestore, I think. I think it's pretty decent. Just watch out for the pricing though, because I think they can whack you if you start using a lot of space. So just keep an eye on that and be aware of when the free tier ends and stuff. Why is there need to sending a broadcast? Where was that again? Send broadcasts in intent with this action. So where is this used? In the fragment. When the broadcast is received. Show network layout. So if it's connected, it's true. So we hide the network layout if it is connected. What is this? Oh. Wow. So it's just like an offline view. That is a weird way of doing it. That is broadcast, man. They give me nightmares. I don't like broadcasts. I don't like it. You have a base activity or have a these days with flow, you can have a shared flow or something that there's like a singleton that keeps track of if you are connected or not. Then you can observe that flow in the UI and show stuff if necessary. I would try to avoid broadcasts as much as possible. Okay, and then we have, I guess, service factory things, which could be neatened up if you have a DI framework. You know, he's using a custom converter factory. Jeepers, man. And this to me, like, why you have a constructor parameter that's a nullable JSON thing, but then in the constructor you check if it's null and you throw an exception. Like, just make it not null. Interesting. And all these double bangs over the place make me nervous as well. And all these... You can just make it lazy, right? Like that. What am I doing wrong? Alright, slashes. Like, actually that's the same, because it's doing the double locking synchronization stuff. Whereas lazy does have synchronization support. By default it uses synchronized, and you can also pass in the mode if you want to, where it defaults to this first one, but you can also say publication, which I don't really know what that is, or you can have no synchronization. So it's pretty powerful. You could just do this instead of having the double locking whatever mechanism. Otherwise, I'm gonna just kind of skip through stuff because I'm getting tired and hungry. On the interceptor, just logging. Holy shit. Yo. Yeah, exactly. The pre-made retrofit things normally work pretty well. But this thing scares me. Is it rotating the log? Is it trimming it if the log file gets too big, or what's happening? At this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Like, holy shit. There's this clean up thing, but it's unused. And if you have an error while cleaning up, just log the error into the thing you're trying to clean up. Eesh, oh, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, Shaquille, yeah, I think you said it pretty well there. He doesn't trust anything. He just does everything manually. Oh no. Yeah, I don't trust the interceptors and the adapters or the logging or the Kotlin's lazy, just doing everything manually. Oh no. What is this now? Is this like an unused thing? No. Oh, this is the JSON fire thing that I saw earlier in the Gradle script. I have no idea what this does. I don't really care at the moment. Oh, it's using it to convert to and from JSON. But why? You have JSON in the project as well. Wait, what? Oh, okay, it is using JSON here, but then there's this JSON fire thing. What is happening? But then the JSON fire returns a normal JSON builder. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting project. Doing everything manually. Okay, here we just have all the DTOs. Doesn't trust data class either. Oh no, you have getters. Are you serious in Kotlin? When last did you see a getter? There's not one single data class. This to me is like someone who's very new to Kotlin, maybe? And they're writing it in a Java style. Right, private fields and getters for stuff. Feels very Java-ish. Yeah, and all these utils and stuff is very Java-y. And double banging as well. It's like when you don't know how to do it better in Kotlin yet. So, are you serious? You have a .let, like the save operator, but then you just undo all the good you did at the end of the statement. A lot of the stuff confuses me. Wait, this is for room now, right? The database stuff. I think it is, yeah. Okay, so we got some room. Okay, I was confused. It's a repository, but it's actually a DAO. That's why I was confused why the implementation was a generated class. What is a DB cache? Sounds a bit redundant. This guy loves his logging, man. Yeah, this is Java, or even isn't it like C#, that formatting argument thing, where you can just use a string template here. So it's living in the database, and it's an in-memory cache as well. Interesting. Oh boy, I don't want to get copyright striked. Trying to update activity through a Java class which contains all Firestore methods. Yo, what? It's not working. I mean, it's hard to say, you know, without not being able to see. The coroutine scope. Yeah, it's kind of not great. It's just literally like a fire and forget kind of deal, where you're not cancelling it or anything. How do I get some? Okay, but anyway, need to move along. So also they're doing this thing where they just, instead of saving a table in room, it's just serializing it. DB cache and the helper and stuff, and the helper keeps track of the database instance. The naming is so bad as well. It's the actual database, it's not a helper. This should be called superhero database or something. Okay, anyway, helper, model, remote, we saw, I think. Service. Yeah, I saw that. Service ended listener. No. Oh no. So then these were all the utils I saw earlier. Dude, stop double banging stuff. Edge effect util. Hoo-wee. The packages are confusing. Yeah, like factory as a package. Any other databases like Firestore? Unfortunately, not that I know of. I don't know if anyone else knows of some, but I've not really had the need to use them, so I haven't looked up any others. This was all the connection stuff. Holy. So many utils. My eyes. Arun, hey, from India. Hope you're well. Thanks for stopping by. I'm getting tired and all these util classes don't make it easier. Like for me, why would you make it static if it's all Kotlin? For me, all these little functions are great. Sort of utility-ish functions, but rather make it a extension function, right? Activity.getWindowHeight, like that. Why is this red now? Oh, it's a private thing in here. But you get the idea. You know, it's so much more idiomatic to call that. Oh, okay, that's just a getter. So then you can just say activity.getWindowHeight. You know. But I think this person is not really a Kotlin expert at this point. Edge effects. What edge effect did we have? Is it just that? Like that glow? Isn't that built in? Oh no, it's reflection. Oh. So apparently it's only officially supported from 29 to set the edge effect color on a scroll view, I believe. Whew. But they found out that from 21 and up, the field is there, it's just private. So why not use reflection to change the value? Oh, no, no, no. Please don't use reflection. Just to change the color of this bubble effect thing on the edge. DP to PX. Does it exist? I can't think of the name right now. Keyboard util, of course we have to show in hide keyboards. Status bar util. So much deprecation. Ugh. Attributes for getting stuff from attributes, constants. A dispatch queue. I'm guessing this is all for the logging. Ah, my eyes itching. I should download the sources for 31 actually. But like using deprecated stuff is bad generally. You don't want to have crossed out stuff in your code. The less the better. Indexing. Hey, sources now. He's doing some locale magic as well. But the thing is, this is such a simple app. Well, not that it's trivial, but it's, you know, it's searching from an API and then showing a detail screen. So I don't know why it's like over-engineered. If a lot of it was maybe copied from another more complex project, a Java project, and it was copied and made Kotlin. I mean, to me it seems crazy. My brain would melt if I had to like work on this project. No, man. And this does nothing if everything is in Kotlin, bruh. That's what it could be. To int or null. And if it is null, then we use default value. Don't need try catch there. Whew. I just rewrote latches, handlers, supers module. Oh, so good. Reduced clients by 50%. That feels good, man. Yeah, coroutines is just so much less code and so good. So easy to work with. Yeah, I do think it's an oldish project, and they like migrated to Kotlin, but not really. And why is this synchronized? More double locking stuff. If theme equals 2. I don't like it when the theme is 2. 2? Typeface util. Well, that was interesting. Any naming convention to ease readability? Sure. Naming is one of the hardest things in programming, believe it or not. But generally name it for what it represents, I guess. Like for a string, you know, if it's someone's name, you would say first name, I guess. You wouldn't just call it string. Like string or S or FN for first name. Just say first name, you know. Or val age is 28. Like, name it for what it is, what it represents, what it's used for. I mean, like, context is everywhere in Android, so context is generally just context. But here you see he's called the string language, or lang. I would have probably called this language, rather be more descriptive. Yeah, functions methods should be named as verbs because they're doing something. So like this is good, like update language because it's doing something. Or set language, set locale. And you know, generally if it's get something, it should return something, not just get that returns nothing. Because you're saying it's getting, but then it's not really getting. I don't know, naming is just one of those hard things that you kind of have to find what works for you and what you're comfortable with. It just takes practice, I guess, takes experience. And like yeah, typically when you extend another class, you name it something, and then that class, like search view model, because that's a view model. Suggestions view model, right? Something like main activity, even though it extends base activity, but you know, at the end of the day, it is an activity, so it's a main activity. Same with fragments. Ran the Kotlin to Java, or the Kotlin from Java. Yeah. It does seem like it. Naming X and Y, no, I'll try avoid that. I mean, it depends, like, silly example, if you have a function to add, right? Add two numbers. Then it's fine, because it's kind of generic. So you can say X, Y. Like that. Because in this case, it's two numbers that don't really mean anything. It's not an age or a distance or something that you're working with. But generally, I don't think I've ever used X and Y, not recently at all. Yeah, naming is hard. Naming is always going to be hard. Especially if, like myself, I work on a big project with lots of people or working on the same stuff. So if you're writing a reusable piece of code, you want to name the class properly, you want to name the functions properly so that it makes sense, so that it doesn't confuse people. So it's always going to be a challenge to name stuff well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cybershark is, as you say, coordinates as well. That's a very good use case. X and Y coordinates, Z coordinates. That works well. What I do often use is in Kotlin, the implicit it parameter in lambdas. Like, if you have a string, right, and you say .let. If it's a simple lambda in here, I will just use the it parameter. Like that. Silly example, you don't need the let here, but if it was a nullable string, like so. Come on. You know. Like, I would not necessarily put an explicit name here all the time. It just ends up being a bit too long and verbose. But if your lambda block ends up being a few lines long, and maybe you have other ones with also it parameters, then you should definitely give it names. Kotlin standard library has this, that, this other. Yeah. I mean, the standard library is, of course, very generic. But even names like this and that kind of help you to understand what's going on. Like this is the current thing, and that is the other one. It's not just A and B. So it still kind of helps explain what's going on. Yeah, like equals methods. Is equals methods often... They have an other parameter, I think. Or that parameter, I can't really remember. I haven't written equals method in so long. It doesn't trust data classes. No, there's not one data class in this project. I searched for it. How did you... What? How did you get you not equal to sign like that? Oh, that. It's the font ligature. So if I go to settings, editor, font, it's this option here. I don't think all fonts support it. You can see if I untick it, how the symbols at the bottom there change briefly. Can you even see my cursor? Not really. But how those symbols change if I toggle it. I really like the JetBrains mono font. I think it looks really nice. Comes standard with IDEs these days. Oh, okay. Well, I'm rambling quite a lot here. Just feels nice to be doing some streaming again after 3 weeks. 3 weeks away and at my parents' place without my setup. Yeah, I like the ligatures. It does make it readable, especially the arrows as well. Like so, it kind of joins it up into one little symbol. I'm sure there are people that are going to be hating on the ligatures, but I think it looks nice. So, 2.5 hours already. Time flies. Do we have arrow in Kotlin? How do you mean arrow? You mean like dash greater than sign? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, you can use it in lambdas. So like by default the lambda parameter will be it if you don't give it a name, but then you can say, you can give it your own name if you want to, like text, and then you put an arrow after it. So then you can have the arrows. I'm not really sure if there's any other cases that have arrows in Kotlin. Nothing really comes to mind. Dyslexia says no. Yeah, in that case it might be a bit tricky to see at a glance what's happening. Oh, settings fragment. Yes, the when statements, that's right as well. Can you do that? Can you switch on a constant? Yeah, exactly. When 3 is 1. How does that not give you more of a warning? That's interesting. It should say, hey, this is always going to be that case or something. Or switching on a constant. But yeah, you get errors there as well. I'm tired. Okay, I think I need to head out, make some food and stuff, and get some nice sleep, because tomorrow I have to stay up late for work again. From 10:30 p.m. to I don't know when, 3 a.m., 3:30 maybe, we have to do work. We're gonna be doing some testing in like our prod staging environment. So we want to test when we will be sure we won't affect a lot of people. Because it's a banking app, so people get angry if stuff goes down. So gonna be a late night tomorrow. Oh. So yes, I'm gonna get some good sleep before then. But anyway, yeah, thanks to everyone stopping by. Appreciate it. Had some fun checking out this code. The superhero app was definitely a nice change from the normal weather apps. Very interesting code with all the logging and low level stuff. But you learn something every day. Today I learned that you can have late init field local variables. Well, not giving it a value, of course. Like so. Wait, what? Of primitive types, okay. There you go. Yeah, so you can have late init in local variables, but please don't do that. Please try to avoid late init as much as you can. Cool, thanks everyone. Cybershark, Shakil, Arun. Who else did we have? Yuba. Vrishab, sorry, my bad. Vrishab. I think we had Justin even at some point. Justin and Abhishek. Rohit right at the start and Yuba, I think I mentioned. But anyway. Cool, thanks everyone. Thanks, appreciate it. We'll see you next time. I don't know when that will be. Probably not tomorrow because I have to work late. Maybe Friday, we'll see. But thanks for stopping by and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheerio.